Hello and welcome. I'm Jon Garlick and I'm here with the Sheriff of Calhoun County, Matthew Wade. And this is Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Hello, Sheriff.
Always good to be on the show, John, I'll tell you what.
Good to have you here. And you guys were busy last week. Let's take a look at the count.
2 arrests brings our count up to 5,187 people arrested, all because somebody is willing to help us. A lot of times, John, we get calls that say, hey, we got this problem that's been going on a while, y'all need to do something about it. But truth be told, we're not able to do things unless the citizens are willing to help us and get involved as well. I know a lot of times it seems like we should just go fix something, but we have to have citizens help, and they helped us in this lineup each and every week.
They do. Now, other stuff's going on around the county. We were talking about Narcan a little while ago.
Yeah, fentanyl is a big deal, and we're seeing multiple people overdose each and every week all across our county. And, if it wasn't for fentanyl, these people would die. And, it's a true problem. And, we're trying to work on finding ways to get people to not do that in the first place. And, but if they do, we're trying to help those that have this problem. So.
Fentanyl is a dangerous thing, so if you feel like you've been contaminated with fentanyl, call 911 immediately, and maybe you can get some Narcan in the system and save your life. And we'd like you to stay with us here. We got the first half of the lineup and a really special guest for you here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. The first half of our lineup brought to you by Abe's Ace Bail Bonds. Abe's Ace Bail Bonds, 256-831-0074. First up in the first half is Terrence Williams. Mr. Williams, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. This is Christina Gonzalez. Miss Gonzalez is last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted on a failure to appear for receiving stolen property second. Take a look at Bertram Carter. Mr. Carter, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a probation revocation for a pistol being possessed by a person forbidden to do so. And meet Amanda Johnson. Miss Johnson, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for a failure to appear on theft of property third ×2. This is Cody Blaylock. Mr. Blaylock, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a probation violation for receiving stolen property first. And that's it for the first half of the lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in that half of the lineup. You might know where they are. If you do, call Sheriff Matthew Wade. You call, he hauls. We are here with Chandy Gordon, who is a substance abuse specialist. Is that what you at ASAP?
Yes, sir, prevention specialist.
Very good. So you're new with ASAP. We always get the new folks on the show. I think it's baptism by fire.
What do they call that? A
rite of passage.
That's
yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So you get to tell us a little bit about your background. So where are you from? What are you doing?
Okay, so my name is Chandy Gordon, and I'm originally from Douglasville. I lived out there till I was 9, and I lived in Ranburne for about like 10 years, and then I've been in Anniston for the last 7. I'm a social worker. I went to JSU and graduated from there.
Yeah, we both did.
Yep.
Yeah, so I graduated from there in 2019, and I've been in my social work field for the last couple years, and then I've been at ASAP since October.
So you know our friend Robin Snyder.
I do. Miss Snyder's
Robin's
amazing.
a good person, absolutely.
She is.
Robin's outstanding. So you're at ASAP.
Yes, sir.
And what are you doing at ASAP?
So I'm a prevention specialist at ASAP. I mainly work with the military grant, but I also do our DREAM grant, where we go into the schools and to the juvenile and the jail and speak with the ladies and teach them, life skills and how to cope with things a lot better than, what's been going on.
What's the military grant?
So our military grant is the SMVF. It's service members, veterans, and their families. And we just, it's called Operation Home. And so we work on getting veterans home that deal with substance misuse. And it goes along with their families as well, because that's common within the military and their service members and the families.
So you're providing in-home services to...
Not in-home services, no, sir. We just we go to events. We have an event coming up, the Veterans Car Wash, where we provide education and we provide resources to the families and stuff on substance misuse.
Well, education's important, Sheriff. We've got stuff going on in the schools, and you guys are promoting all kinds of stuff.
Well, I like the word prevention because once you start, then it's a real struggle to stop if you can. It's years worth of going back and forth, and I try not to drink Diet Cokes, but I'm addicted, so I can only imagine something that's way more powerful than that. And so, the best thing to do is just never start.
Well, that's true, and that ties in with what we were talking about at the top of the show, the Narcan and fentanyl use.
Absolutely.
You're seeing a lot of fentanyl use through ASAP?
We have been told a lot about it. It's very common. We hear things about it all day in these conferences that we're going to. It's a big thing that they talk about there. So it's really big in our community.
Just yesterday, a local funeral home contacted me, and they wanted some Narcan because when they're picking up people that have passed away from overdoses, that there's a real fear of being contaminated at the scene with fentanyl and somebody going down or having a problem. So it's a very powerful drug, and not only that a lot of times things that are labeled something that might come from overseas where there's no regulations and people with not very good morals send something over just for the money aspect of it. Somebody thinks they're taking an illegal tramadol or a Percocet or something like that, and it's really just fentanyl, and it can kill them. So, it's a big deal. So.
We hear a lot about these urban legends where you find a dollar bill in the parking lot that's got fentanyl on it. Is there any truth to that?
I wouldn't say those are just urban legends, things that go across Facebook, and those kind of things stir up people. But what is true is people that use this or have this available to them, that it gets in their home and their clothes. If they get a bad batch and somebody comes in to help them and they touch them or touch the person, or give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, or if they touch something on the counter where it was, it very well can affect them just by touching it or being aerosoled and them breathing it. So there is a danger. Does it happen every day? I'm sure it does somewhere, but not necessarily just commonplace in every county. But it is very powerful, and so having an exposure to it, even by touching it, can cause somebody a bad problem.
Well, how many overdose deaths have we had in the county this year?
Well, if it wasn't for Narcan, it would be epic.
Really?
So we're probably, I know we've Narcaned, personally, our deputies have Narcaned somebody recently just a couple of times over the past week or two, maybe 2 weeks, that we've had 2 different people that were turning blue, and deputies get on scene and they've Narcaned them and brought them back. A good person to ask this is also ambulance services. They get a call, ambulance services probably answer more than we do. And these people, if it wasn't for Narcan, that these people would die. And it's a prescribed drug. Narcan is, and I'm for, I wish these people wouldn't do it, but it is an addiction. And when you're addicted to something you can't physically stop, you have that craving. And so at least give them the opportunity to have some themselves, to go to the drugstore and be able to purchase it. I'm not trying to condone the use or help somebody continue using drugs, but at the same time, these people that do this, they're somebody's child, and I'm sure that they don't want them using drugs. They want them to live. They wish they could stop, and they can't. But this Narcan is saved. There's no telling how many thousands of lives this counteractive medicine can do. If it wasn't for that, it would be epidemic, and there would be an outcry because it would just, it's bad.
Well, we hear a lot about Narcan, and it's not, you're overdosing, you're dying, and we give you a shot of Narcan, and boom, you're back, you're everything good. You still got problems, you still got to go to the ER and all, right?
Yeah, well, they do snap out of it, and a lot of times when they snap out of it, they're combative. They don't know what's going on, and it's, while it is a very good medication, it's not the end-all, be-all. Once somebody has died, they can't bring somebody back to life. You got to catch them in enough time to do that. Once again, it's you got laws and you got humanity. It's against the law to use it, but these people that are addicted to it, people aren't throwaway items.
Right.
And we need to try to fix them. If I had the answer, I would do it. I don't have the answer to how to fix it. I do believe that prevention is the best way to, if you can educate children and educate people that there's no good that comes from it. But the bad part is it's an opioid, which there's a lot of opioids that are prescribed by doctors. I've seen people have car wrecks, get hurt on the job, and they start taking it. Then all of a sudden they get addicted, and the doctor cuts them off, and then they'll go out trying to find the illegal measures to get it. They get a hold of fentanyl, about kills them. You know, it's just a powerful thing to stop doing.
Well, education and prevention is what ASAP is all about. You guys have programs in the school systems and all over the place.
Yes, sir.
We're going to take a break, and when we get back, you can tell us all about the programs and the special stuff that's coming up. So stay with us for the second half of the lineup here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Welcome to the second half of our lineup. This half brought to you by A1 Freedom Bail Bonding. A1 Freedom Bail Bonds, 256-236-7888. First up this half, Keonda Pointer. Miss Pointer, last known to be living in Oxford. She's wanted for failure to appear in shooting or discharging a firearm into an occupied dwelling. And meet Wayne Turley. Mr. Turley, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. And this is Taisha Lawson. Miss Lawson, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation violation for theft of property third. Take a look at Jamie Champion. Mr. Champion, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to appear in breaking and entering of a vehicle. This is Aaron Lambert. Mr. Lambert, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. That's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on these cases, call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-833-251-7867. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in the second half of the lineup. You know where they are. You do. Call Sheriff Matthew Wade, Sheriff's Office, Crime Stoppers. You call, they haul. We are with Chandy Gordon of ASAP, talking about all of the prevention programs that ASAP has, you know. And in the first half of the show, we were talking about education and prevention is the key. You know, let people know that, you know, a lot of kids use drugs. They think it's fun, and they don't understand the repercussions. They don't understand there's long-term effects. Even to something like marijuana, there's long-term brain damage. And they just think, well, if I get addicted, I can just, maybe I'll overdose, I'll get some Narcan, I'll go to rehab in 21 days, I'm fine. But that's not the case, is it?
That's not the case.
No. So tell us what you got going on at ASAP.
So coming up, we have our National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. We do this twice a year, and I was a part of it last year, so I get to be a part of it again. But it'll be April 22nd, and what National Prescription Drug Take Back Day is where we set up at 4 locations, and we take back unused and expired medications. And why this is so important is because we want those unused and expired medications out of the home and disposed of properly, because they can end up in the wrong hands, you know, and they can end up in our water system, and that's not how they need to be disposed of. So when you take them to these locations, we dispose of them properly with the Sheriff's Department. They come out, the police officers do, and help us dispose of it. And then we also will be raffling off a TV sponsored by Ross, a 50-inch Vizio TV. So when you come, you get a ticket, and we'll be raffling that off. And then also, we have a Veterans Car Wash coming up too for our Veterans event. But our 4 locations for the National Prescription Drug Take Back Day will be the Walgreens in Jacksonville, the Walgreens in Anniston, and the CVS in Oxford, and Wright's Pharmacy in Heflin.
Now that Walgreens is the one in Golden Springs, is that?
It's the Walgreens in
Right there at 202.
202. Yeah.
202.
Yes.
Okay. 202. But and then some law enforcement agencies, including the sheriff's office, have one there all the time.
Yeah, we have one in
Yes.
our office that somebody can come in. It's like the old mailbox. You know, probably a lot of people don't know what that is. You go there and you can put it in there and close it. And when it gets full, we give it and get it destroyed and burnt the right way. And that way it doesn't go into our water system. You know, it's not left in the home for people to, somebody not misuse it.
Now, do people just bring the bottle down that's got their name on the side of it and just chuck it in the bag or
Some
in the
do.
box?
Some do. Some put them in Ziploc bags. Some take the label off the pill bottle. But you know, we're going to make sure if something's on there, we'll protect that information.
Because if we put it in a Ziploc bag and you happen to get pulled over for something,
That could be a
that
problem.
could be a problem.
That could be a problem, yes, sir.
You know,
I had to tell my parents that when they had all their prescription pills in those little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday packets, like, you shouldn't be doing that and carrying it with you.
I'll be honest, I have the little thing that says the days on it, because I do it, and that way I don't have to sit there every day and get so I do that as well. So, but I'm not taking them anywhere. But on occasion, if I go on a trip or something, I probably do the same thing.
So there you go. Next time you get pulled over, just say, have them in the Monday through Friday thing and say, that's how I carry them.
Yeah. Mine is pretty, one of them's a vitamin, one of them's an aspirin. I mean, they're not, it's nothing highfalutin in mine, so.
Yeah, no highfalutin stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so bring your canisters down, bring them in, bring them in a bag, whatever you do. How do you measure this? By weight?
Yeah, so we have scales at each locations, and each time somebody brings medication by, we usually they bring it in bags. So we put it on the scale, and we collect each weight from each one that they bring in. If they bring it in a bag, we put it all in there one time, and then we add all the weight up. So last year we collected it in October's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. We collected over 300 pounds.
Wow. That's a lot of pills.
It
Pills
is.
don't weigh much. And how much do you know how much you get out of your thing every so often?
I don't. I do it when it gets full, we'll change it out. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of weight coming out of the county, and that's a lot of pills. And people, not only do they get in the water and in the trash, but kids can get a hold of them by accident or on purpose, right?
Right, and that's why it's so important to dispose of them correctly, and that's why we hold these events, so that you can dispose of them this way instead of leaving them in the home or putting them in the water system.
There used to be these parties I would hear of where you just people would come together with all the
Farm
scripts.
parties?
Yeah, farm parties, and put them all in a bowl, and you just grab a handful and take them, and
That's
potluck.
well, that's dangerous. We don't need to be giving anybody any ideas on that either. So it's just bad. Just taking medication just because a doctor prescribed it don't mean it couldn't hurt you.
Right.
So it has to be done in the proper way. So.
And there's a lot of that going around, and it's good that we get that stuff. So maybe 600, 700, 800 pounds a year, perhaps, out of the drug take-back days, and probably at least that much throughout the year.
Yeah.
So, wow, over 1,000 pounds.
And the more we advertise it on shows like this, the more maybe somebody will dispose of it the proper way. So.
It's important. So go through your cabinets and your in your bathroom, your medicine cabinets, and grab your pills and bring them down. Tell us when those dates are again.
So it's April 22nd. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at our 4 locations. You have the Walgreens in Jacksonville, Walgreens in Anniston, the CVS in Oxford, and the Wright's Drug Pharmacy in Heflin.
And you get to sign up for a big screen TV giveaway.
Yes, when you come and drop off your medication, we'll give you a ticket. We'll write down your phone number and name, and we'll call you. We usually do it that Monday. Call, and you have a chance to win a 50-inch Vizio TV.
Pretty good. So do you know the Prevenger?
I do know the Prevenger.
Oh, we really need to get the Prevenger on the show. Wouldn't that be fun?
It would.
You would like that.
So, the Prevenger is kind of like Superman, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's like Kent Clark during the day, then the Prevenger, if something happens.
We really don't know who the Prevenger is in real life.
Where they changed, because they used to be in a phone booth, but those are, kids today don't even know what a phone booth is.
That's right. So that's a good question. I have to ask the Prevenger where might change into their prevention costume.
I'll try to get that information from her next time I see her.
That's important. That's important. Well, Chandy, we appreciate you being on the show. Say hi to Sayram for us.
I will.
And I hope you critique well when they review this at the office. And we look forward to those events, and we're very appreciative of ASAP. And we look forward to seeing you when we do the Crazy Criminal and the Crime Stoppers portion of our show when we get right back here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show. First up on our list of Crime Stoppers cases, on March 28th, this home was burglarized on Charlie Penny Road. The individuals also vandalized the property. And on March 31st, a 2021 black Razor Turbo XP was taken from a residence on Meeks Road in Wellington. And that's it for the Crime Stoppers cases this week. If you have any information on these cases, give Crime Stoppers a call. That number, 1-833-251-7867.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
It's Time to get crazy, Sheriff.
Tell you what, it never fails. Each and every day there's something crazy. This is Louis Ordonez from Gainesville, Georgia.
Ooh.
Now, before the comments get too crazy on this, this guy was trying to do an armed robbery on Christmas Day.
Oh.
So he had 2 guns on him, and so he tried to rob somebody, and then they might have pulled a gun back. I'm not sure. Anyway, he goes to flee the scene, and he slips and falls on ice. And so it's unclear whether or not his fall on the ice did that, or the 2 victims that took guns away when he fell, the 2 people he was trying to rob, took 2 weapons away from him. So we're not sure if the victims did that to him that he was trying to rob, or if that's when he fell on the ice. But however, when Gainesville police showed up, he already looked like that.
This is Gainesville, Georgia.
Gainesville, Georgia.
Known for their frigid, icy weather.
Yeah, I'm with you. South Georgia doesn't get too icy, I don't think. But
could have been, you know.
But Louis here, he might have learned a good lesson that you shouldn't try to rob people in Gainesville, Georgia. He doesn't look very successful at what he did.
No, I think he needs some, you know, coaching on how to walk steady.
Yeah. But he is keeping, you know, he's keeping his eye on the prize right now. So.
Yeah. He looks like he did a couple rounds with a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rumored he tried to rob Mike Tyson. I'm not sure.
He's still got both his ears, so I don't know. Well, Sheriff, every week we want to talk about employment because people are looking for jobs and you're looking for people to work.
We're looking for brave people who want to be difference makers. If you want to make a difference in your community, come to the Sheriff's Office. We're looking for deputies, corrections officers, and dispatchers. In today's time, it takes a special person to do it, and we're looking for those people that are special, that want to make a difference and do good in their community. So if you're that person, come see us. We're looking to give out opportunities.
Such a rewarding career.
It is.
And it's rewarding to work at the Sheriff's Office.
It is.
It's tremendous opportunities, lots of experience. So if you're at JSU studying criminal justice, right?
You get 25% off your tuition. If you're a JSU student and you want to come work at the Sheriff's Office, you can get 25% off your tuition. So that is a big deal, and we appreciate JSU partnering with us and giving those breaks to people who want to go to school.
That's a huge deal. And
that is a huge deal.
And you came from JSU.
I did come from JSU twice.
And you came and you started from JSU right in the jail.
I did.
And worked your way all the way up. Top dog.
Top of something.
Top of something.
There you go.
Wow. We appreciate you guys for tuning in this week, and we hope to see you again next week, but not on the lineup here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.